is going on, everyone? James Urban Bass Slayers out in the backyard once again and tinkering around with some more of my baits and getting some stuff finished. I got a couple more orders in from some people, and thank you guys for ordering baits off of me. And this guy is now finished. I'm working on getting my paint jobs more dialed in, and I've actually been like writing down the paint job so I know exactly what to do as I go along. This guy put that jitterbug lip on, and I'm gonna go toss this and test it out pretty soon. This is an experimental bait that I made. Pretty cool. I made that guy out of balsa wood, and then I made this guy, which is just I don't know, you tell me. It's like a frog, the jitter lip on it, and then it's got those two willow leaf blades in the back there. Now I have tons of different sizes of these willow leaf blades. Richard, when he before he moved to South Carolina, he gave me his entire box of stuff for making spinner baits. I actually have a few spinner baits that he has made. I have the spinner bait molds and all that. It just takes a little bit to pour the stuff properly and to bend the wire and all that stuff, and I myself have not done it yet. Richard was getting really good at it, and that was his deal, was he was making the spinner baits, but he left all this stuff to me. So I mean, I've got blades of all sizes, like packs and packs of these blades, like all sizes. I got the ones that are dimpled, I got the flat ones, I got little tiny mini ones, so I got the dimpled ones. And he left me with all kinds of stuff, all the little connector pieces and the swivels, the little beads I need. And this is only a part of the skirts that he left me. He left me a ton of skirts, so I've been messing with these skirts. And there's a dragonfly bait that I'm making right now. And where did I put those guys? There's a dragonfly bait I'm making, and I'm going to use these skirts for the wings. So what I did was, in this little thing here, Richard left me his little tool to put the skirts on, like the spinner baits and jigs and stuff like that. But what I did was I took two pieces of like a clearish color and a whitish color, and these things, they got the little ends on them when you get them new. So I just kind of rolled it together, two different ones, and then I put that thing on the end, just popped it on there, and kind of holds it there. And then these will go in the sides of the next bait that I'm making, and they'll be like wings on the bait. Pretty cool little deal. I just came up with that real quick. I was trying to find a way before to get some skirts like that, and I actually took thread and wrapped them, put super glue on it, and the super glue ran all down in here and got all messed up, and that right there is awesome. All I have to do with that is put a little bit of epoxy in the side hole and just pop that guy in there when I'm epoxying the whole bait, and make sure that it doesn't stick to the side of the bait, and that should be good. So when he left me all this stuff, he also left me his wire bender. Do It molds, it's like 160 bucks or something like that, I forget. And then he left me a bunch of his wire. I've went through all of the wire, and I had to buy more of it. And I like using the small gauge wire right now because I have the tools to work with it, and also because it makes my baits lighter than a lot of other people's baits. They use the really big eyes, the eyelets, really big hardware, and I started doing that on my first baits, and those things are so heavy. So I went to doing the smaller eyelets, and I just sat there this morning and made a whole bunch of these connectors. They're not perfect, but they don't have to be. As long as they hold and they're in there, it's not coming apart. This is really strong wire, and it don't come apart. I've tried to pull those things out of baits, and they don't come out. Yeah, so got a bunch of little baits that I'm making. Another wake bait. I got a couple, like I said, orders, so I have to go get some more round wood, and I need to get a couple more of the little mini baseball bats so I can make the mini guys like this. I'm really liking these little tiny ones like this. I think I'm just going to start making a whole bunch of these smaller ones. the baits all take the same amount of time to make. I just like this little profile, man. One of the guys that's been buying a lot of stuff off of me, we're talking back and forth, and he's telling me different things that he likes about the baits and what could be changed, and I like to do that and listen to people, and it helps me make my stuff better in the long run. So what else we got going on here is I am making this bait, which is a shad, and I just clear coated it with some Rust-Oleum paint, so it's still kind of sticky, tacky, and I've cut out all the fin spots. I made little fins out of the Lexan plastic. Those fins will stick in there like that, like so, one on each side, once I mold them. And I have the top fin, got the bottom back fin in there, and then I still got to cut the tail slot out, and there you have the tail. So what I've done with this is these 4 pieces. I made another one of my plaster molds. Grab them. Another one of my 2-piece plaster molds for every one of these little pieces. So to show you just one side of this here, got my tail, my bottom back fin, the little side fins, and then that top fin, the little piece sticking out, right? And when you make these 2-piece molds, you always got to have, just like on aluminum and other molds, you got to have your air slots. So when the plastisol comes down in here, that air will come out those side spots, and you won't have air pockets on your baits. So when I make these, I have a few videos on making these, and I may throw the link down below on my most watched mold building. But it's basically just plaster pairs, 2-part. When you're making this, you gotta put Vaseline in between the things. I take a little drill and I just put little holes right there. It makes little indents, which gives me little bumps, and that takes the slippage away, and it holds the mold together. And, I mean, it's pretty strong. Now you gotta be careful with these when you're using them, because just plaster Paris. If you put a clamp on here, you gotta do it really softly, or make these things really thick. I've snapped a whole bunch of these in half, putting the putting them in a vise or clamping them, and I was going a little fast in my work, and they were heated up, and I twisted it too hard, and they snap in half. You can fix them. I put one back together, and I just poured more plaster around the whole thing, and it's perfectly fine. You can't even really see the crack in it. And what I do on the inside of this, I'm just forgot about this, is I get some old cheap, like 99-cent store, what is it, Wet n Wild Shine. It's just, it has to be the coating. It can't be just nail polish. It's got to be the clear coat. And you put the clear coat all inside here in all these spots, and what that does is it keeps the plastisol from like trying to adhere into the mold. It kind of makes a sealer, and if you put a second or third coat on it, sometimes it'll actually make the pieces come out looking kind of shiny, which is not what I want for these ones. I want these ones to look a little bit more dullish looking once I get them finished, and I stick the because I make it out of old plastisol just like this, so all of these appendages will be made out of that, if that makes any sense to you guys. All those little fins and everything will be plastisol, and I'm just trying to go realistic with this. Like I was saying in the last video, a couple videos ago, I was gonna cut all the scale pattern and everything into this, but being balsa, it's so hard to cut clean, and it just falls apart on me. I like the thicker wood. Some people, they might like the balsa more, and it's easier for them to shape and carve, but I find it's easier to mess the bait up a lot faster when you're doing it with balsa. So just kind of made this guy to go realistic, and I think my paint job will make up for the realism in the side, and not having to cut all of the scales out. Now this one, I don't know, this was just an old piece of wood that was laying in the backyard. It was an old shovel handle that had been like carved down kind of on the top, and it was already flat like that. So I just made a little snake out of it. I'm going to paint this another California king snake color. Just another 4-piece wake bait. I just random stuff, make it, give it away, fish it. So anyways guys, that's about it. I mean, I got this one other bait here that I was working on. It's just a 916 junglist bait, and I painted the sack skyline on the side of that one. This is more of a like a display bait to sit like on your wall if you want it. I know somebody in particular that might want that bait, Paul. Anyways, so I'm gonna get to what am I gonna do today? I think I'm gonna go in the bait room, even though it's really hot, and I'm going to try to mold up some of these fins and the tails and some more tails for more baits that I'm making. And I just ordered more of the eyeballs, the glass eyes for the big baits, the big-eyed baits, or the big idea as I was calling it. And I got big ideas, man. Got big ideas. I got big goals. I got lofty goals. I mean, I was on Swim Bait Universe the other day, and Mike Buka liked my post about the big eye bait, so that's kind of inspiring to me. He's somebody that I really, really look up to. So many good bait makers out there, man. I'm just a new guy trying to do this thing, and I go find the best, and I try to follow what they do. Some of the baits that I made kind of look similar to some stuff people have made, and I mean, when you come down to it, you can't really patent a shape. Pretty sure you can't just patent a shape or something like that. So like, I don't know. I want to kind of get away from the round baits and go to like my own style stuff with the like big-eyed bait and things like this that are more like, I've never seen a 3-piece quite shaped like that. Like to get to doing some of the stuff of my own. To be honest with you, the reason why I started doing these type of baits, the round ones, is they were easy for me to make, and I had a bunch of this material laying around, and I honestly just wanted some bigger canvases, I guess you could say, to paint on. I love painting a lot of the smaller crankbaits. They're kind of frustrating because they're so small. I like painting bigger things. I'm used to painting gigantic things, and this is kind of different for me to downsize and be painting something so small. Kind of cool though. Anyways guys, Urban Bass Layers, I really want to go test this guy and see how it fishes. It's one of my favorite paint jobs so far. I did forget to put a little bit of blue right here on this, which would have made it pop a little more, so I wrote all that down. Next time I do it, I will try to not mess it up and do it the right way. Anyways, Urban Bass Layers. Feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again. I'm gonna go in the bait room and try to get some stuff finished. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and tell your friends about us. And even if you just want something made, anything, I mean, if you can come up with something of your own. I mean, I make soft plastics. I make just about everything at this point. The only thing I haven't made yet, like I said, are spinner baits and jigs. Only 2 things I really haven't made. But I have all the equipment to do it, and I think sometime within this fall, as it cools off and I can get out my bait room, I'm going to try making those things. And I also wanted to make some A-rigs because they have the A-rig molds, and I have all the stuff to do it. I just got to get the mold. Anyways, Urban Bass Layers, love you guys. Thanks for watching. Get out there and go fish. Enjoy your life.